You know, I've run out of things to do. So I'm just doing loops around my base. Jumping off of things. Whee. And, I mean, yeah, I think I have done everything that this version lets me. I have a base, I've got trees, I got a dock, full diamond tools. Like, I mean, what else is there to do? Yeah, I mean, I've built up a whole lot. Could try destroying things. Okay. Alright. Alright, now I think I'm onto something. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, no, I can't even leave the floating tree. That's too much for me. That's where I draw the line. But, I mean, if I can't build more and be satisfied with it, I could collect more resources. Like, there's gotta be something I can collect. Like, wood. You know, like deforesting this entire area, specifically for building, which I get kind of defeats the purpose, but still. And you know what? I think I can make a pretty decent mob farm in this version. And by pretty decent, I mean hopefully functional. Anyways, hi, hello, I'm the ImpendingMoon, and this is Minecraft Infdev 2010-06-17-2. I'm getting good at saying these, finally. It's taken 6 episodes, but here I am. And yes, I did deforest this entire area in between episodes. It probably took a combined total of like 3 hours, because, I mean, I just sort of zone out, watch YouTube, and do whatever in Minecraft, and things just sort of happen. This is one of those things. I think I've gone through like 4 diamond axes by this point, but I've also been mining, so I have more diamonds. Yeah, but anyways, I think one of the things that I want to try is I want to build a mob farm. Because, especially since I'm not seeing so many monsters on the surface, I'm thinking if I can provide them a dark enough area within spawning range, because I have been very good about lighting up all my stuff at this point, hopefully I can actually get some monsters and some monster drops. Now, there are 2 large issues that I'm going to have with building this thing. Actually, make that 3. First is, where do I build it? And the answer is, I don't know, probably in a mountain or something. Second of all is, I don't know the spawning mechanics of monsters in this version. I barely know, like, any kind of modern version. So I'm going to have to rely on the very basics of how monsters spawn. And that is, in the dark, at least 20 blocks away from the player, but still loaded. So, with that information, hopefully I will be able to make a mob farm. But there also comes the third reason why I'm probably going to have issues with this. And that's the fact that I don't have access to many blocks to make a mob farm. So first of all, I don't have trapdoors, which means I can't trick the monster's AI into walking off the edge. Although, I'm pretty sure they'll just do that on their own. Second of all, I don't have dispensers, so I can't push them off the edge. And third of all, I don't even have something as simple as a lava filter, because I don't have signs that I can place on walls. So, for any of you who have made a mob farm, my design in this version is probably going to be the very first mob farm you ever made after, like, looking up a design. That's going to be a platform with 4 directions of water, leading to a 1x1 hole, which just drops the monsters down and the player kills them by hand. It's the simplest design. It's probably one of the oldest, although Etho did make an underground design in his playthrough in early alpha. And hopefully it's gonna be a design that just works, because I want some gunpowder to make TNT. It's not really that fun without it. But before I get to any of these mob farm things here, I have a message from a sponsor. That's right, I'm sponsored by The Void. Have you ever wanted to fall down below the world, sit there, and do nothing forever? Oh boy, I do. Well, if you do, then you can buy Minecraft for the low, low price of $11.54, dig straight down, and fall directly into the void. If you want to take advantage of this offer, just call 1555 Minecraft. That's right, 1555 Minecraft. Alright, now that that's over, on a more serious note, yeah, the entire world below me currently has exposed void, because they removed the lava barrier in this version, and, they didn't add bedrock into old chunks. So if I quit game here, and I go to an old backup of my world, this is like episode 2 or 3, I can crash the game. That's fantastic. Let me reload a better save of this. I don't know what I expected. It loaded before I started recording. If that doesn't work, just retry. Alright, let's try this again. No. Okay. It just doesn't work. Minimator, why are you open? No. Let's try a slightly newer backup of the world. Everything has to go wrong the moment I record. Okay then, third time's the charm. I had to load a... There we are! Okay, so I've had to load a slightly newer backup of the world, because my episode 3 one just crashed the game when I loaded it. But yeah, you can tell this is older because I still have my iron tools and whatever else I just have on me. So, if I head down this pathway, and we see our good old friend Lava Tower. Yeah. Hi, sun. It's the middle of the night. And, this is what happens when you fall. So you can see it's all stone, there's some lava, you can see some exposed ores, and now you don't see anything. You also don't die. Damage hasn't been added to the void yet. So, 1555 Minecraft. 1154. You can have this experience. Also, you can just delete your items, because the void still kills them. It's just that it doesn't kill you. Isn't that just wonderful? You know, if I stay here long enough, it'll crash the game. Yeah, so, digging straight down is especially dangerous in this version, because you don't even get sent back to spawn. You're just in purgatory until you decide to update. So, yeah. Word of advice, don't do that. And, anyways, I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna gather some resources. And I'm gonna figure out where I can build a mob farm. Hi, pig. Hi, other pig. At least we got mobs spawning now. Hopefully that means we'll actually get monsters spawning too. I don't know why that other pig died, but more pork for me. Anyways, what I will need for this is a ton of cobblestone. I could use some wood if I wanted to. By the way, this is how much wood I got for deforesting all that. And then I am going to need more water. I'll probably just use an infinite water source here. But while I head down to the shore, where do I want to build this thing? I was thinking I could put it in that mountain, but I think I'd be too close for it to spawn most of the time. Same thing with this mountain, because I'm usually walking around here. But this mountain here, I'm thinking, well, as long as I don't do anything on this mountain, which, to be honest, I probably am going to, but even when I'm down here, if I have my spawning chamber up there, I should still be 20 blocks or more away, so it shouldn't interfere. Oh yeah, I forgot, one thick water doesn't actually break your fall. Yeah, so let's see here. Let me see if entities are actually spawning. So, we're looking at the top right there, that E number. So, the number on the left is how many entities are in my view. And on the right is how many entities are loaded. So right now, I am looking at 4 out of the 7 that are loaded. Which means there's not many entities that are spawned. Which is not good for me, because I want some things. So I'm going to try and head to a darker area and just see if anything does want to spawn. I mean, I got a sheep. And I got wool. So let's see here. This is a place where I haven't lit up as much. So yeah, in these darker areas where there are no torches, monsters should still be spawning. Especially considering still on normal. And I don't know why they aren't spawning. It's actually getting very frustrating because I would like to see some monsters so I can grab their loot. And maybe die from them, but honestly I'm willing to take that risk. But the game's not even giving me it. Well, anyways, I suppose while I'm waiting for that, I might as well get this place prepared for everything. So, first step is going to be to flatten this out, because this is going to be the spawning area. Eventually, I need to actually calculate how much I need to drop in order for monsters to be left with 1 health. Okay, so let's see here. Where can I dig without causing me too much harm? I think right in the middle there is a good idea. So I'm gonna go down 1, 20, 21, 22. Should hopefully be enough. Okay, so that puts me about right on par with this. So from here, 2 blocks up would be... Oh! Hey! A monster! I got feathers. I'm happy. So that means this actually has a chance of working, which is good. So, from here, 3 blocks. So, if I go at this height, so say, I want my killing area to be right here, it would mean that I need to raise that up 3 from the ground, which is a doable feat. So, I'll get started on that. So let's see here. I'm going to cover this up so I don't fall down it. But for now, I do have some wool and some dirt. So I can go ahead. And if I want this block exactly to be my killing area... Oh, hey, my pickaxe broke. But, so say I want this to be my killing area. Go 1 further in. And then I guess just count. 20, 21, 22. Okay, so this is going to be where I start to branch out and make the waterfalls. Well, you know, since spiders can't climb yet, I could actually make this a 2x2 instead and have that work probably a bit better. So if I go out like this and then go back up here, I can dig out this, and now I can kill spiders. Also, I'm totally gonna have to rely on, like, placing blocks down like this in order to not die. Otherwise, MLG water bucket. It's possible in this version. Actually, no it isn't, because water doesn't break your fall. Alright, so I guess I'm just gonna have to hope. Alright, so that's the wall. I'll light this up for now. Eventually, though, I will break all the torches. Okay, so this is gonna be where the water streams are. So right here, I need to raise this up. Probably 3 blocks is going to be best. Although I think I could get away with 2 if I wanted to. Alright, now that the walls are built up, time for the actual spawning platforms. And I'm starting to realize I might need some more blocks. And I guess before I actually finish this, I might want to test to make sure that the water actually goes everywhere. Oh! That doesn't give you back the torches, but yes, it does reach back here. Anyway, let me head back up. Actually, let me go grab some more blocks first. Also, outside of recording, I was complaining about there being no gravel, so I couldn't make flint and steel. And, yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. There's plenty of gravel on beaches. There's just not much underground. And speaking of flint and steel, the reason why I'm not using one is because I'm pretty sure fire still spreads infinitely. Which is not a very good thing when you live in a pretty forested area. Although I guess it would be a pretty good way of getting rid of all the forest. But I don't quite want that. Alright, and that would be the bottom of the platforms done. And I am nearly out of blocks. I picked up another 2 stacks, and now I'm going to pick up another probably 4. And then before I go and build up these walls, let me go ahead and make an infinite water source, which, yep, is about as universal as it gets, so it still works. And then let me take down all the torches in here and plop down all of my water. Alright, and as it turns dark, I am going to create a room of essentially infinite darkness, which eventually it will be once I take down the torches. But this will also keep me from being shot at by skeletons for now, so I'll get to building, and you'll get to see the finished product. Alright, and with all this, I can go and finish this off. And oh boy, is it claustrophobic in here. Now, the next step would be to remove all these torches. Or at least it would be if I didn't have to dig out this hole first. Because I'd rather not just have an infinite pool of monsters just dropped off right here. I'd rather have them drop off a bit farther. Alright, so all the monsters are going to drop down into this, where I'm actually going to place down this and make some slabs here, so that hopefully, if I do this right, they will not kill me, and instead just wander around while I can still hit them. So if I go like that, and then let's see here. If I actually drop down one into this, and then go like this, hopefully this would mean that they cannot see me, but I can hit them. So I suppose I should head up here, where I can get into this, and spill a little bit of water down here, but not too much. Alright, so now that all this is done, let me just quickly make pathways across all this, so that I've got easy access to all the areas. I'm gonna go and break all of these torches, and hopefully no mobs are gonna spawn while I'm still in here. But just in case they do, I do have armor on, so I can hopefully survive some of their attacks while I break the rest of this. Alright, and with this torch broken, it's all gone. So let me break down all this stuff, get over here. And now, hopefully if I move 20 blocks away, or I guess 20 blocks down in this case, let me make sure all this is lit up as well. We should hopefully see some monsters start spawning. Let's see. I can dig all the way around this and still collect resources. The question is, can things hurt me like this? And with janky hitboxes, probably? Hopefully not. But for now, let me turn this on so I can see. We do have some entities right there, but they might just be items. In fact, they are probably items. But who knows, maybe it's a monster or two. Okay, so a bunch of no, not monsters, pigs spawned. Yeah, so, because when I'm looking at this, I'm only seeing one. So that means there's only one entity while I'm looking up here. So I think I'm just going to leave it for a little bit, let it do its thing. And while that's going on, geez, that's a lot of pigs. But while that's doing its thing, I'm thinking that as nice as these trees do look, they really get in the way of building anything here. So I am sadly going to take down all the trees on this beach. And if anyone complains that, oh, these are historical, they only spawned in a few versions, hush. I will leave one of these islands, or one of these areas alone, and these trees will remain. These pigs are really loud. Anyways, I'm going to keep an eye on how many entities are in there. And in the meantime, I guess I'm just going to be breaking down all these logs and listening to pigs. And, yep, that would be this axe done for. So, let me hop onto the ground. There's a lot of entities, and most of them aren't monsters. They're just items. So I'm going to pick up all these, and then grab another axe and keep chopping down the wood. I'm probably about, like, I'd say halfway to 3/4 done, depending on how far I want to go. And let's see, I'm looking straight at the mob farm, and 0 entities loaded. Or, well, 0 entities in view. Which is not exactly what you want to see when you're trying to spawn enemies. Alright, so that should be all the trees that I want to cut down taken down. Well, most of them anyway. I just wanted to point out that this tree looks absolutely hilarious with none of the other leaves around. Because it's just got a lot of leaves. But it does look kinda ridiculous, and I'm just gonna let it decay and replant it later. Also, you can see some oddities in the leaf decay algorithm, specifically with what's left of floating leaves, so I'll have to take care of that pretty soon. Yeah, but anyway, since I've been doing that, no monsters have spawned in here, and I don't know why. So let me head up into here and just take a peek at what it looks like from the top. Because this should, by all accounts, be working. Because it's a very dark spot, and even if it isn't going to, like, drop monsters down, should at least be spawning them. Yeah, because if I look into here, you know, yeah, I'm comfortable even dropping down, because I know there's just nothing in here. And honestly, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I've done everything I can to spawn monsters, and they just don't. They don't wanna. So I guess I'm just gonna leave this for now, and I'll have this giant cobblestone thing. And hopefully, one version, it'll just spawn. But, you know, since the mob farm isn't working, I've actually went out and I've had to look up how this works, but I should be able to just make an actual regular plant farm. Yeah, so the hardest thing about this is getting seeds, but the way that you get seeds in this version, since there is no tall grass, is apparently by just hoeing the ground. So I'm gonna go make a hoe and figure out where I want to build a farm. Alright, so let me grab the things for this here. And let's see how easy it is to find seeds. Now let's see. The space down there isn't very good because it's not flat. But the area that I made for my tree farm that I've now torn down because I have however much wood is pretty much perfectly flat. So I'm going to try and make a farm right here. But first I'm going to tear down these leaves because they're kind of annoying me. Alright, so let's see here. If I hoe the ground enough... Yep, I get seeds. Okay, so I've dug out the water trenches and added some lights. So now I gotta actually add the water. Which is just as simple as turning that into an infinite water source and just keeping it going. And now that the water's been added, I can go ahead and just hoe all this ground. And hopefully get a few more seeds while I'm at it. Looks like these are... untilling themselves faster than they can be watered. So that's interesting. Anyways, though, they will eventually water themselves, but I guess not before untilling themselves. Or is it because I'm walking on them? It doesn't feel nearly consistent enough to be because of that, but I don't know. Let me try walking on the same block repeatedly. Oh, it does actually look like to... Okay. That's annoying, to say the least, but luckily I can reach most of this from that. Let's try walking over one of the wet ones. Can I until these? Yep. Alright, so it is because of me walking on them. Which is stupid, and that means everything else that walks on them is gonna do that. Which is an absolute pain, but I guess that means... Well, one of these is gonna have to be a pathway so that I can actually reach all this. But it is going to bug me So I'm just going to make both of these pathways. You pigs, stay off. This farm is not for you. And then I guess I can just turn this into more lighting. Because why not? You know, I could actually turn this... I've got a pig to kill. Some pork to have. And then I'm thinking this would actually probably be a good place to plop a greenhouse down. Even if I'm just going to only have one of these, which I might actually reduce it down to, I think a greenhouse design would be better here because that would keep animals from just wandering in and breaking all this. But for now, just to have a farm at all, I'm going to go and plant all these. And there we are. So this is going to take some time to grow. And eventually, once I have enough seeds, or I get fed up with mobs wandering around on here, I will eventually go and just turn that into a greenhouse. So I'm going to need some glass for that. Maybe some stone slabs. I think that's what I'm going to go with. And still, no monsters. Why? I don't know. And then I guess while I'm waiting for the farms to grow, since I have torn down all the trees here, and most of the leaves, I think it's about time that I actually get around to building a retaining wall for this pathway. Because it's been a while. And I guess I might as well take down these leaves too. And that would be the full, as far as I'm aware, set of retaining walls done. And honestly, I'm really liking the way that this is looking now that they're all in. I do feel like, especially for things like this, that I should try and either extend the walls this way or just move in the ground a bit more so that they're not jutting out. But for the most part, I think they're pretty good. Let me not jump off the edge there. But I feel like this pathway also just looks so much better now that there's an actual edge instead of just leaves that I'm looking over. This I feel like I should probably raise, now that I think about it, but I'll get onto that later. And then I guess while I'm here, I might as well finish connecting up this path with the little mine over there. And something has stepped on my... whatever. And nothing's here yet, which is annoying to say the least. So I'm going to take my mind off of it by building. Alright then, so this is the main pathway done. Now when I blend it into the ground a little bit more, and break some of these godforsaken leaves, it looks like this. Which looks pretty nice if I don't say so myself. Anyways, I'm not gonna really build a pathway to this until it either starts working or I actually make it look decent. Speaking of which, if anyone here has any idea of how to make this look less like just a mob farm made out of cobblestone and more like something that actually belongs here, I'd appreciate it if you told me. And same goes for pretty much any of these things that I'm building or clearing land out of. Or even if I haven't gone to an area to do it yet, if you just have any ideas of what to do, even if this episode is however old, just, leave it in the comments, and I will almost certainly read it, because I am running out of ideas very quickly, if you can't tell. Anyways, with all that done, even if this portion doesn't quite work yet, I'd say I've done some pretty cool stuff here. So, I have built this, of course, which I don't know when it'll start working, or how it'll start working. Hopefully it just works eventually, because I want some mob drops. I've gone and deforested this entire front area here, although I still have a few trees and some leaves that I want to remove. I finished up the retaining walls here, I built a pathway, and a farm, which I'll eventually turn into a greenhouse. I'll probably go over there and grab some sand in between episodes, and who knows, maybe that'll be the first thing I do next episode. But anyways, thanks for watching. I've been the Impending Moon, and good night.